This is a part 2 of how to unlock your psychic powers. Now, on this channel, I don't usually talk about spirituality like that, nor do I talk about astrology stuff. However, lately I've been finding such a fascination with astrology due to how accurate natal charts can be. Like, my natal chart is super accurate. So on this channel, I talk a lot about my writing process because I am an author, but turns out in my natal chart, I have a psychic gift for automatic writing. And on this channel, I talk a lot about ancestral stuff, typically my indigenous American heritage. Turns out in my natal chart, I have a psychic gift for ancestral wisdom. And on top of that, throughout my life, I've experienced a lot of paranormal stuff that you just really can't explain. But turns out in my natal chart, I have a lot of psychic gifts for that. And yeah, it's pretty scary in a way of how accurate natal charts can be, but it's also very intriguing. So, of course, since I'm just so naturally in tune with all of this, I decided to make some videos talking about it. Now, in my last video, I've spoken about how water signs are more naturally in tune with the psychic world. However, not all psychic abilities lie in the water. Some are hidden in the fire, some are hidden in the wind, and some are hidden in the stone. So, in this video, we are going to unlock them together and dive a bit deep into the unknown to figure out your psychic gifts. So, for those who are wondering, how can zodiac signs influence our life? Look at it like this, because this is how I see it. When it comes to outer space, we have all these planets, we have all these things going on, and somehow, some way, with the energy in the air, it does influence how we conduct ourselves. Just like how the moon affects our emotions, especially during a full moon, with that whole saying, all the crazy people come out at night, be careful on a full moon, because the moon affects the tides, the water. We're made up of water, so therefore it makes sense of how the moon affects our emotions. So it's the same with other planets. Now, I see it like this: the great creator, whoever created us, or whatever the case may be, I kind of see this being like a alchemist or some type of bartender that be whipping up all these drinks, and how all these energies collide during the time of your birth. That's how your energetic field is going to come out. So that's how I see it. And if that doesn't make sense, this should make sense. The world is a mystery, so there's no need to try to figure everything out, because it's just, the more you dive deep, you're just going to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and it just never ends. So that's how I see it. So in my last video, like I said, water signs is more naturally in tune with the psychic world because they are ruled by psychic planets. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. However, everything is energy and everything has power. So the other signs definitely do have psychic gifts. It's a little bit more hard to tap into, but when I decode all of it, break it down, it's not as hard as it sounds. So I am going to start off with the earth sign. Now, before I dabble into the earth sign, let me break this down for you guys really quick so nobody will be confused here. When it comes to the natal chart, we have a lot going on. So we have 12 houses, and we have the big three, which is the sun, the rising, and the moon sign. Now, depending what time of year you guys were born, that is going to be your sun sign. So since I was born on March 1st, my sun sign is a Pisces. Now, the sun deals with how you are on the conscious level. The rising sign deals with how people perceive you and who you are. My rising sign is a Taurus. Now, the moon sign, that sign deals with who you are behind closed doors. My moon sign is a Scorpio. Now, with the 12 houses, each house deals with different aspects of yourself, like how you deal with money, how you deal with relationships, family, career, community, and whatnot. Now, how it depends on how all the planets fall in your house. It all depends on how your energy makeup is going to be. That's why I picture a bartender in the sky, like whipping up all these different energy drinks, because it's a lot going on in your energy field. So, starting with the earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now, out of the three, I feel like Taurus will be more acceptive to the psychic world because Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of beauty. Virgo and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is a more structured planet. So that's why I feel out of the three, Taurus would be more acceptive. But like I said, they all have this psychic ability. So, this is how you guys manifest your psychic abilities. You guys are very in tune with the world. You guys have such a sensory awareness. You guys can sense energy throughout the environment, and you can feel when the environment has a shift. You can sense energy in people, and you can also sense energy in objects. So you ever hear people say you know the vibes? When it comes to earth signs, I feel like you guys really know the vibes because you are so tapped into this when it's open. Now, how to tap into this psychic side of yourself when it comes to earth signs, um, I would do a lot of grounding practices, which is going for walks in the park, walking around barefoot if you're comfortable, drinking a lot of herbal teas. Now, since you guys are in tune with the earth, it will only make sense to drink herbal teas. Another thing you guys can do is meditation and really feeling your body and being in tune with your body. Also, I would do a lot of stretching. Really relaxing the muscles would do you guys justice as earth signs. Now, moving on to the air signs. Now, I can relate to the air signs. I can relate to the earth elements due to my Taurus rising and other earth placements in my houses. However, with the air signs, this is where my automatic writing comes in and my other psychic abilities, because with air signs, that deals with intellect, higher consciousness, receiving downloads. Now, when it comes to air signs, this is going to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And Aquarius, I have Aquarius a lot in my natal chart in my houses. Now, all these signs are ruled by Mercury, but I believe the Libra is also ruled by Venus. When it comes with Mercury, that is the planet of intellect. Like I said, downloads and whatnot. And Thoth, the Egyptian god, is he a god? I believe so. Yeah, the Egyptian god Thoth, he is, well, he's also Atlantean. You know, that's another topic for another time. He is uh, linked with Mercury. So, like I said, higher intellect, a lot of downloads. So with the air signs, with how you guys manifest psychic abilities is you guys get a lot of flashes. You guys get t- um, when it's tapped in, telepathy, and also automatic writing, like I said. When it comes to the air signs, this group reminds me of, if you ever watched the show Charmed, the character Phoebe, who is my favorite character in Charm, she would get a lot of deja vus, like when she would touch something, she would see into the future. So I feel like this element also deals with deja vus. Now, how to tap into telepathy, automatic writing, um, getting downloads, flashes, deja vus. You guys have to do a lot of clearing the mind type of meditation. So when you meditate, just focus on clearing the mind. I mean, it's hard to do. I would just let whatever thoughts is in my head, just let it flow, and eventually you'll fall into this like silent state. When you guys get into this state, that's when you guys can receive a lot of information, and that's when the psychic abilities like taps really in. Also a lot of journaling. With me, since I'm just so naturally in tune with this, automatic writing just comes, just like, it's so easy for me. As soon as I sit down at the computer and start typing, I don't even need to think of the story, how it's gonna go. It just comes to me, and I just be writing for, well, typing for hours upon hours. um Another thing with ear signs, listening to certain beats will help you air signs get into a theta and alpha state. Since you guys deal with the higher intellect, the mind, you gotta really work with the brain. So when it comes to the brain, we have different types of wavelengths. We have the gamma, the beta, the theta, the alpha, and the delta. Now, out of those fives, theta and alpha are the psychic states that you want to get into. If you want to know more about this, you should really pick up the book called The Psychic Witch. And yes, I think he used witch on purpose because a lot of people nowadays run from that word witch because it gets such a bad rep. But in this book, he explains about the different wavelengths. And it's been very helpful, especially for someone like myself who has automatic writing. And also, too, I have one of the clairs, it deals with clairaudience. I can hear, when it comes to, really quick, because I don't want to make this too long. When it comes to hearing spirits and whatnot, you can really hear them when you're in a state of sleep and being up at the same time. Like within that space and time, that's when you can like hear spirits and whatnot. And I've had heard voices from like loved ones that passed and other experiences that I have throughout my life. So tapping into the theta state can really help with that, and also the alpha state. Moving right along to the fire signs. Now, when it comes to the fire signs, I can relate to this element in certain doses because I don't have fire signs in my houses. The only fire sign that I have, and it's not really a sign, it's more like a point in the sky, like another energetic field. I have my Lilith in the 12th house. Now, for those who don't know, Lilith is a powerful, fiery energy that we often suppress at the same time. It's our power, but we also feel guilty of it. And this energy is in my 12th house, which is a hidden spiritual house. So, yeah, I can relate to this sign in doses, especially I can with my Taurus sign because when it comes to Taurus, it's like we're very chill and laid back. But when we see who we want and what we want, we're just like straightforward. Like when a bull sees a red flag, just quick on it. So I can relate to it in doses. Now, when it comes to the fire signs, which is Aries, you guys are ruled by Mars, Leo is ruled by the Sun, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Out of these three, I feel like Sagittarius will be more in tune with the psychic world once you guys tap into it because Jupiter is very a expansive planet. With this planet, everything expands. So that's why I feel like once you guys tap into this, it would just expand. And I believe it's the planet of luck at the same time. But anyway, how you guys manifest your psychic abilities is through instant gut feelings, um, instincts, and through your passion, you get a lot of downloads in a way as well. You guys get a lot of bursts of inspiration, which in a sense, that's how you guys end up getting these downloads. Like I said, I don't really relate to this too much, but I do know that's how you guys get it. Now, how you guys can tap into this is you guys have the fun part. You can tap into this by doing dancing, martial arts, anything that's like active that will help you get into this state. When you tap into this state, it becomes very creative. Therefore, you start getting a lot of downloads and you start picking up more instincts, especially with the gut instinct. So, yeah, if I was you guys, I would tap into this psychic side by delving into a lot of creative projects and physical activity like working out and whatnot. Maybe that's why I can relate in a sense as well, because I work out all the time. Now, that's how you guys will be able to tap into your psychic abilities. So, with all of that, I must say, when it comes to your houses, like I said, it all depends on how everything falls, how everything conjuncts with the planets, how everything, if they conjunct each other or complement each other. Um, I would explain all of that. I will explain all of that in another video because there's more to this. It's more advanced. Um, when all these energies like combine with each other. So it really depends. Now, if your Neptune, your Pluto, and the moon, if they fall into your houses in a way where it complements your abilities and your other planets, you'll be even more psychic. Like for me, with the automatic writing, for an example, I have a lot of water placements in my chart, first of all. So that just helps me right there. However, in my 10th house, I have an Aquarius. And in that house is my Mercury and my Mars. And since the Mercury is the higher intellect and Mars is very fiery, I get a lot of instant downloads because they conjunct each other. Just fiery instant downloads. And the planet right next to that has my Neptune and Uranus. So they all conjunct each other and complement each other to where my automatic writing ability and my other psychic abilities aren't blocked, if that makes sense. So, depending on how each planet falls into your houses, that's going to determine whether you just unlock it easily, it comes natural to you, or whether you're going to have a hard time to unlock it, or whether you're going to have an easy time to unlock it. Even with water signs, there are certain people who just block off their natural gift. For instance, I'm going to just give an example. So, my sister, she's a Cancer, and that is a water sign. And when she was younger, she did experience certain paranormal stuff, but she's very practical. She just like brushes it off like a coincidence or something. Certain things she questions, so she's not as bad. And yeah, however, when it comes to her natal chart, because she doesn't really know too much of her natal chart, but I do. Um, she has her Lilith in the fourth house. The fourth house is ruled by the moon, and that deals with family and emotions and so on and so forth. Throughout my sister's life, she is always closed off to her emotions. She doesn't want to talk about it. Me, I am a introvert and I'm super quiet, but even I am not that closed off to my emotions. Like I will speak up if I feel like I need to. But with her, she's just so closed, like she just can't open up. Turns out she has a Lilith in her fourth house. Like I said, Lilith is a powerhouse, but this is also a power that we suppress, that we feel guilty about. So it makes sense to me why she blocks her emotions and she keeps it so like hidden. And yeah, it's just so crazy to me. So, with that being said, this is everything about the basics of unlocking your psychic abilities. Now that you've jumped into the unknown, it's kind of hard to close it when you've been so exposed to it. So I wouldn't be afraid of diving deep and learning more about these psychic abilities and practicing it. Why not? I mean, it'll make life even more interesting. And if people find you crazy, oh well, like it's your life. Um, you can go online to look at your natal charts. I use astro charts. Their setup is very simple and easy to digest. So I use this site a lot. So I would suggest using astro charts or astro.com. That's another good site, but I like astro charts better. So with that being said, that is it for this video, and I will make a part 3 getting more into the blendings of the planets and how it works on a more advanced level.